There is no serious person out there who would suggest somehow that you could even rig America's elections, in part because they're so decentralized and the numbers of votes involved. There's no evidence that that has happened in the past, or that there are instances in which that will happen this time. And so I'd advise Mr. Trump to stop whining and go try to make his case to get votes. And if he got the most votes, then it would be my expectation of Hillary Clinton to offer a gracious concession speech and pledge to work with him in order to make sure that the American people benefit from an effective government. And it would be my job to welcome Mr. Trump, regardless of what he said about me or my differences with him on my opinions, and escort him over to the Capitol, in which there would be a peaceful transfer of power. That's what Americans do. That's why America's already great. One way of weakening America and making it less great is if you start betraying those basic American traditions that have been bipartisan and have helped to hold together this democracy now for well over 2 centuries.
Now, wait a minute. This was Obama before Trump won the election and became President Trump, our 45th president. And you just heard him talk about how ridiculous, and no person in their right mind would ever indicate or believe that the elections could be rigged. Do you really believe that he wasn't aware and Trump was aware? Or do you believe that they were both aware, and the guilty party, the party that was already guilty of not doing something about Russia's interference with America's elections, was trying to play some CYA, cover your ass, by saying that it could never happen? Because now, see, Obama expected Hillary to win, right? Trump wins, and then all of a sudden investigations started to ask, well, did Trump collude with Russia to rig the elections? Rig what elections? I just thought you said it was ridiculous that they could be rigged. But they already knew that they had been wanting to rig the elections. They have been colluding. And I have no doubt that they did some with Russia, but we definitely know they colluded with some of the FBI agents that were protecting Hillary from being convicted on what she was investigated for, and then trumped up, all puns intended, this fake story of Russia colluding between Trump's campaign and Russia, which we know there was no collusion of, because the Democrats are famous for one thing. Everything they do that is wrong, they play CYA by immediately, before you can discover that they're guilty of it, they accuse their opposition of that thing. Their opposing running, not running mate, but we'll just go with their opposition. They immediately accuse their opposition. So showing it to you here in vivid living color, do you now understand and believe that it's not just posts that I type out or talking during my live videos? You now know that, because the evidence has been released. So we know that the Democrats colluded with the FBI to rig an election. And looking back before the election, seeing Obama himself stand there and say that elections can't be rigged, not only was Trump onto something, but it should really make you think twice about who you're supporting if you're a Democrat. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to insult anybody. I know I have some Democrat friends, and on my Facebook I have Democrat friends, but look, it is what it is, and it's not looking very good right now for the party that's always accusing the right side of crimes that it's turning out that they themselves are guilty of. It's ridiculous. When are we going to grow up and just let the American people vote? they spoke and they voted for a 45th president to be Donald J. Trump. Even against a rigged election, he still won.